Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 2 to you. Week 2 is January the 14th through the 20th. You're looking at saber, conocer, the personal awe, and direct objects. Again, we're still in chapter 4, and a lot of this should be review for you because most of you guys had my class last semester. So you're going to want to study pages 119 to 123 and 135 to 138 and review pages 110 to 125. After completing this week's assignments, you should be able to understand the difference between the verbs saber and conocer and when to correctly use them, as well as be able to use the personal and indirect object pronouns when necessary to plan activities. You're also going to have a test this week, and for this test, you should be able to describe yourself to others and to be able to converse with others in Spanish about your families. You should also be able to conjugate e to I, and o to ue stem changing verbs in the present tense and use the irregular verbs poner, salir, and traer in sentences. And all of this week's work is due on the 17th, and that is also when we will take your test. So you're going to want to watch all the Okay, so to start off with, again, you're going to want to look at the instructor-made videos. We'll be covering this information in class, but this is still review, and if we didn't get to go over everything, you're going to want to look at these videos before attempting this week's assignments. And so then after you're done, you're going to want to hit on the class participation forum. You're going to click on the thread, and you're going to hit reply and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in class or covered in the videos. We also have a cultural assignment this week. So you're going to want to open up the Moodle Quiz, and there should be various videos. And these videos, so you're going to have 3 of these. You'll watch videos on various Spanish-speaking countries, and then you'll be asked questions about what you learned in the videos. Now, the videos are in Spanish, but you can turn on the closed captioning in English. So when you watch the video, so you can hear that the narrator is speaking in Spanish, but then you have the closed captions in English. I've also given you the transcripts in English, so if you prefer to do that, you can print those off and just look at the sheet while you watch the video. Okay, so when you're ready, you only have 1 attempt. This is not a quiz, even though it's a Moodle quiz activity. This is a cultural assignment, but you only have 3 of them, so you want to make sure that you complete it, because if you don't complete it, it significantly impacts your grade because there's only 3 in that category. So then you'll have various true-false questions about the information that you saw in the video. And then at the bottom, you've got a few fill-in-the-blank. Fill-in-the-blank have to be manually graded. So Moodle is going to go ahead and grade it, but remember, I will go back in and manually look at it and make some adjustments. Sometimes, like, it might be asking for a number and you guys spell out the number, but I wrote the number as the answer. So things like that, the computer just can't do. I have to go in and fix it. So just be aware. I always go through and start looking at these on Friday. Now, I have 6 classes and everything comes in to me on Thursday, so I may not get to it all on Friday, but I have pretty quick turnaround. If you've been in my class before, you know I have quick turnaround. So just be patient with me and I'll get to your stuff. Let's see what else. Okay, and then you're also going to take the part of chapter 4 in class, so we'll talk about the test in just a minute. And you also have assignments in my language labs, and again, even if it says extra practice is not optional. You do have to complete it. So you'll want to click on the link that takes you into my language lab, sign in, and this is what you'll see. You'll want to go to your course calendar or your to-do list. Okay, and then you'll click on the 17th in your course calendar, and the assignments will pop up. You can click on each one and complete them as many times as you would like. Just hit finish and submit for grading. Okay, so test 1 is going to be on the first part of chapter 4, and this is what it's going to look like. A new student, Catalina, has just moved into the residence hall. You're going to listen to a description of her and her family. I have a link here, but I'm probably going to read it to you guys. You are going to listen to me talk about La Familia de Catalina, and then there are various statements below. Based on what I have read to you, you're going to decide whether the statements are true or false, or if the information wasn't given at all, then you'll hit no se menciona. Okay. I don't know why cooperating with me. You have las relaciones familiares. Your study group is reviewing for an exam, and one member has come up with some great sentences to review the family vocabulary. Complete the sentence with the correct vocabulary word. So all of these have already been modified, so you don't need to put an a my, or the. You just need to write the word. So you'll read through the sentences and fill in the blanks with like mother, father, grandma, etc. Okay. Un día de mi vida en la universidad. Discover what the student does during a typical day by filling in the blanks with a logical word from the word bank. Be sure to use each answer only once. So they're already in the form that you should use that. Like, don't, like, seeing dormir is in an unconjugated state. Don't change it. You would need to find a place where dormir belongs. So read through this and pick the words from the word bank that best complete the sentence. Here, como cambian, can you remember how all of the stem changing verbs change? So all of these guys are stem changes. They're either E to IE, O to UE, or E to I. And remember, those stem changes happen everywhere but nosotros and vosotros. So you'll pick the word that best completes the sentence, and then you'll conjugate it to reflect who it is that is either asking for something or eating something, etc. And if it is not nosotros or vosotros, if it's like I or you, etc., then you have to use this change stem, not the regular stem. Okay, here we're going to read about Ignacio Maldonado, and then you're going to answer some questions based upon what you've read. And I think it says here that all of the choices beneath the statement are true or can be used except for one. You're choosing the one that's not correct, so be very careful of that. Don't pick the one that's correct, pick the one that's not correct. Okay, and I think that's everything that you have to do for test 1, and that's everything you have to do for week 2.